Early one morning at the top of Hat just arrived at Tidmouth Sheds. Good morning, everyone. Donald, I have a very important job for you. Aye, sir, what is it? Well, as you know, I have you covering for Molly while she's in the works. So, you need to take Molly's Sunday farmer's market service, said the top of Hat. It's a very important train and it gets delivered to Ulstead Castle. You take it along the walls and stop at the top so that the workers and passengers can get out and look at all the ingredients and food that's there to serve. You need to take the eggs carefully so they don't break, and make sure you arrive on time. This farmer's market happens from 12 till noon, said the Fat Controller as he stepped into Winston and drove back to Knapford Station. Donald smiled. Oh, hi, a farmer's market. That seems fun. Oh, I love the farmer's market, said Toby. The last time I went there, me and Henrietta had a look round, and I took the passengers there. It is quite nice, said Oliver. A nice time to get some fresh food. My driver always goes. I'll probably be seeing you there, Donald. Oh, hi, I'll see you there. Oliver, bye, you lot. I got to go to Brendam Docks now, said Donald as he rolled away. Everyone else started chatting about the farmer's market as Donald rolled away. When Donald arrived at the docks, he saw Arthur. Oh, hi, Arthur. Is this my train? Yes, it is. I've shunted it already. You just need a brake van that's being shunted by Porter. I'll move out of your way so you can switch lines. So Arthur backed up and Donald switched tracks. He covered up and the animals started talking. Oh, hi, be quiet back there, said Donald as he hit the trucks. The animals started barking as the doors were quickly shut again. Keep the noise down, cried Cranky. I can hear you from up here. You need to be careful and not distress the animals. They might cause some harm, said Arthur. Just then, Porter slammed the brake van into the back of the train on accident. The cow mooed loudly. Oh, sorry, said Porter. Porter, be careful, said Arthur. Animals need to be treated with care. Molly isn't this rough with the trucks. Oh, hi, I'm not like Molly, though. I'm my own engine, and I'm going to be much better than her. So, with a loud hoot of his whistle, Donald raced away, pulling the animals' trucks with him. The cow started to moo loudly as it was pulled out of the docks. That's not going to end well. I'll call the breakdown crane, said Porter as he reversed down to the station. Donald raced down the line. The animals made lots of noise as he raced past the oil depot. Diesel grumbled loudly. Keep your animals quiet, he snapped, as Donald shot through. Oh, hi, keep your wheels on, he cried as he shot into Knapford Station. Donald wheezed into Knapford Station. He saw Daisy. Oh, hi, Daisy. I thought you didn't pull trucks. I don't normally. Oh, I don't normally, but I'm helping out Mrs. Kindly again. Mrs. Kindly stepped down from Daisy's cab and walked over to Donald. We're taking my flowers to the farmer's market. I always like to sell the freshest ones there for the best passengers. Oh my, said Edward, rolling in. There really is a first time for everything. Stafford, can I have my coaches? Right up, Edward, said Stafford as he collected his coaches. I'm only doing this, Edward, to give Mrs. Kindly a chance to sell some of her flowers. You wouldn't understand, said Daisy, as Mrs. Kindly jumped into Daisy, and Daisy rolled away with a small box full of flowers. Donald sighed. Oh, hi, I'm going to be late. See you later, Edward. Go careful with the animals, Donald. But the cows just mooed as the chickens clucked loudly as Donald wheeshed out of Knapford Station. The fruit and farmer's market was a great success. Passengers were looking all round, and even Oliver was there with his driver. Oh, I do love coming to this festival, said Spencer. It's a very important thing, said Sampson. Sampson, said the Earl, I need you to go to Brendam Docks immediately. There's been a truckload of supplies that we need to go on to some of the stands. Can you go and collect it for me? I'll be as quick as you can say whistle, said Sampson. I still don't know where Donald is. He's probably on his way, said Stephen. You know how he is. He always likes to take the fast route. He probably wanted to go right round the island. Right, I'll deliver this tour and be back soon. See you all later, said Stephen as he rolled away with Victoria. The track had become a bit bumpy, and Donald raced up the line. With a smack and a crack, he applied his brakes, but there was trouble. Donald's eggs in his truck
spilt out of the car. The eggs flew down and landed on Samson, who was driving through. They crashed straight over his open cab. "My word! Help! I'm covered in eggs," said Samson. As the eggs spilled onto the ground, Samson raced away. "I'm going to the washdown immediately," he cried. Oliver looked up. "You've got to get down from there, Donald. The line's going to snap." "Oh, I knew the track was dangerous," said Daisy. Stephen, who was just returning from a tour, saw this and panicked. "Get down from there now, Donald. You can't stay up there. Pull with all your might." Donald tried, but the track just slipped. "The track's breaking. I can't keep on the line. I don't know what to do." Just then, Edward pulled into Craven's gate. He saw Donald and gave Donald a bump. Edward pushed with all his might. "Go! Push the train!" Edward pushed with all his might. The coaches and Edward made it across. Just as the line snapped, the track crashed down, blocking the narrow gauge line. Everyone was okay. "Quickly, let's get down here before the rest of the castle walls collapse," said Edward, as Donald and Edward snaked their way into the random docks and stopped at the line. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. With the help of Edward, the remaining supplies were dropped off, and Donald was happy. "Thank you. Oh, hi, Edward. Thank you for saving me. You're one of the best engines ever." Just then they heard a Bat controller arrived in Winston and stepped down and walked over to Donald. "Donald, I thought I could—" "Sir, look up there," said Edward. The Tom Hat turned around and stared at the broken line. "Oh, my word. I'm very sorry about that, Donald. I was about to blame you for the eggs and most of the supplies being broken." "It's all right, sir. I'd blame me as well. Have you seen Samson? He ran away. He was covered in egg juice." "Oh, is that what he was complaining to me about?" "He was complaining that apparently eggs came falling from the sky and landed on his cab. I knew it sounded ridiculous." "Well, Donald, go and get the Sodor construction crew and get Miss Jenny down here immediately." "I'm already here, sir," laughed Miss Jenny. "Just give me 5 minutes and I'll call Jack and the pack over. We can have this line fixed by tomorrow." "Perfect. Donald, head back to your sheds. You can get the rest of the day off. And I'm afraid the farmer's market is going to have to be closed early. Please pack up your things and leave as quickly as possible down the only free exit, as the castle walls are now too dangerous to use. I'll send Edward to go and collect some coaches to come and take you all home. I'm sorry for any inconveniences," said the Fat Controller as he stepped into Winston. Miss Jenny sighed. "At least I got to come to the farmer's market, and it wasn't all wasted." Ulstead Castle's wall was still under construction. The narrow gauge railway had been tasked to help, and Miss Jenny was working hard to try and control the engines. In the castle, speed restrictions had been in place, and all the engines were complaining. "It's ridiculous," said Spencer. "An engine of my manner being forced to a petty speed restriction. I was built to go fast." "I think it's been quite nice," said Caitlin, "getting to relax in the yard a bit." "You guys don't know speed restrictions until you've got to my old age," said Stephen, rolling in. "I used to race down the lines like a rocket. Now I only trundle." "Don't we know it?" laughed Spencer. "All right, you lot," said the Earl, walking in. Settle down, settle down. As you know, the castle may be under construction for a few weeks, as the accident was quite severe and it's dangerous for any engine to use the wall. Because of this, I am deciding to close the castle just for the next week." "What are we going to do though?" said Caitlin. "We can't all just sit in the yard all day," said Connor. That is why I'm giving you all different jobs. Spencer, the Duke and Duchess are going to use you to go to their summer house on the other side of Sodor. You can find somewhere to stay over there. They are in control of you now." "All right." "Connor and Caitlin, the Fat Controller said he has some special passenger trains that you two can help out with if you're interested." "Oh, that'd be fun," said Caitlin. "Racing around the island," said Connor. "Skiff and Samson. Skiff, Brendan Docks says that there's a bit of a yard waiting for you if you want to go and help out there. I know you're only a sailboat, but it should be fun." "Come on, Skiff," said Joe. Let's get ready. Skiff smiled. Samson, you can help out taking some trains from across the island. There's always a goods train or two due to be delivered. What about me, sir? Said Stephen. I'm not like the other engines. I'm not as fast as them. I know, Stephen. That is why you are going to be taking me around the island for the next few days. It's not going to be the best job, but you need to take me down to Knapford Station so I can finish my chat with Sir Tom Hatt. Please hurry, it's urgent. So, Stephen switched lines and trundled backwards through the gate. He soon left with the Earl in his coach. I'll get you to Knapford or burst, said Stephen as he rolled away. Well, I'll see you all in the next few days, said Spencer. Enjoy your unworthy jobs. Spencer as he rolled away, leaving the other engines in silence. He doesn't know what he's talking about, said Sampson. My job's the most important. As he backed up down the line and reversed down to Brandon Docks. Everyone else started to leave. In Knapford Station, Thomas was talking to Sir Tom Hatt. I'm sorry, Thomas, but Rosie's checked the yard twice. I can't find any coaches to spare. Oh, but sir, I can't pull all my passengers in just Clarabelle. If it wasn't for Flora getting in that accident, I'd have both my coaches. I did order a coach to come and replace Annie for a few days, but it's still not arrived. Just then, the Fat Controller heard Stephen as he puffed in. Morning, Thomas. What seems to be the problem? Asked Stephen. Oh, Stephen, said Thomas. Clarabelle and Annie got into an accident yesterday and only Annie got hurt. I don't have another coach to use. The Earl stepped out. I might have an idea, said the Earl. Ah, Sir Robert. It's so lovely to see you again. Hello, Topham. I have an idea. You said you needed a coach. Why doesn't Victoria work for Thomas for the next few days? But what about your castle? And doesn't Victoria work there? The castle's been closed, said Stephen. Closed? Said Thomas and Rosie. Only for a few days, said the Earl, while the wall's being fixed. It's taking longer than we expected. That's terrible, said Rosie. I hope it gets fixed soon. I was meant to go up there in the next few days. It will, don't panic, said Stephen. So, Thomas, are you going to take the offer? Yes, said Thomas. I'll attach Victoria to the back of my train and she can help out. So Stephen uncoupled from Victoria and rolled into the siding. He was still looking worried. Be safe out there, Victoria, said Stephen. Oh, you know I will be, said Victoria, as Thomas puffed away with Clarabelle and Victoria. Stephen sighed. Well, Stephen, I'm going to be talking to Tom Hatt about some temporary housing for you. You can try and make yourself useful, but I don't really know where you're meant to go. Oh, I can take the coach for you, said Rosie. There's a bit of space in the shed since Flora and Annie aren't here, and Flora's coach isn't in the sheds, said Rosie, so she switched round. Stephen sighed. But you seem upset, said Rosie. It's because the castle's everything I've got. I don't know what else I could do. There's loads you can do, said Rosie. Like, maybe you could work at the quarry. I tried that when I first came to the railway. It was not that good of a job. Oh, well, I don't really know. If only I had a job to do, said Stephen. Or it's like I didn't even have anything to do. You'll find something, said Rosie. You always will. As Rosie puffed back into the yard. Just then, the Earl and Sir Tom Hatt walked out. Ah, Stephen, said the Fat Controller and the Earl. I have some good news, Stephen. The Fat Controller said he's found you some temporary housing. It's just down near the Tidmouth sheds, as there's a spare siding. Oh, that's wonderful, said Stephen. But what about my jobs? Just then, the Fat Controller heard a panicked cry. A workman raced up. Sir, sir, sir. What is it? Said the Fat Controller. Percy burst a safety valve, and the mail's due out in 15 minutes. We don't have anyone to take it. Now's your chance, Stephen, whispered Rosie. Stephen plucked up the courage and spoke up. I could do it, sir. I think I know the routes, and the truck shouldn't be that heavy, and I don't have anything to do in the meantime. Brilliant, said the Earl. I suppose, said the Fat Controller. But I think you should see Percy first to ask about how to pull the mail.
I will, sir. Don't worry, said Stephen as he smiled as he puffed away. Yay, whistled Rosie, as Stephen left to go and find Percy at Tidmouth Sheds.
Alright, Salty, here's the last crate. You're perfect. After this, Percy can come and collect the mail. I thought it wasn't Percy, said Skiff. I thought someone else was taking it. Why wouldn't Percy be taking his mail train? Scoffed Cranky. I heard he was out of action. Apparently he derailed. Yar, that engine's always derailing. It was probably just a broken piece of track. He'll be fine now. Just then, all the dockside crew heard an unfamiliar whistle. Evening, lads. It's nice to finally get down to the sea for a bit. Being cooped up in the castle isn't good, even without the castle being open. Oh, Stephen, I've not seen you in a while, said Skiff. Ever since we all had to switch up because the castle was closed. Yar, what are you doing here, Skiff, me hearty? I've been sent, said Stephen, to take over Percy's train for him. Apparently he was in an accident, so I've been sent to take over the mail. Are you sure you know where to go? Said Cranky. And be quiet, said Skiff. It's dangerous. Yar, it's not dangerous, me hearty, it's just unkind. Remember when Caitlin did it all them years ago? I think I remember, but I've got this. Mail's not that heavy, is it? It can be if you don't drop it off at the right stations, cried Cranky. But Stephen had already left, puffing down the line. He's going to get into trouble, isn't he? You just know it, said Skiff. Stephen rolled down the line. What he didn't know is that he was meant to whistle at the station to tell the station master to change the points, but Stephen just trundled down. He was now in trouble. He was heading past the line he was meant to take. Oh, this isn't that bad, is it, driver? Said Stephen as he trundled over the bridge and down the line. Stephen rolled into the next station and pulled to a stop. As he pulled in, he was about to puff ahead when he forgot to whistle again. The letters and parcels got taken out, and Stephen set off, going down the wrong way, heading straight to Ulstead Castle. But Stephen was none the wiser. Oh, the points must be set for me already. Isn't that convenient? Said Stephen. Stephen puffed down the line, and soon missed this last point. He was now heading down to Crovan's Gate. Is anyone here for me? Said Stephen. Meanwhile, in Ulstead Castle. Diesel, there's nothing there, said Harry and Bert. We've looked up and down that castle 4 times. What do you want us to do? You two can't do anything right. Move out the way. Let me get a look at it, said Diesel as he oiled in. What are we even looking for, said Harry. Yeah, said Bert. Can't we just relax? We're not even meant to be here. We're looking for treasure. If the castle's under construction, then it's free game, isn't it? Smirked Diesel as he rolled down to check under the cave. Meanwhile, Stephen had just arrived in Crovan's Gate. But then there was trouble. The trucks found a good opportunity to push him forwards. Slow down, Stephen. You're going to crash into the barriers, said Peter Sam. But Stephen couldn't slow down. He crashed straight through 2 of the barriers. The cone flew on and landed on Peter Sam's funnel. Oh, great. Whoa, look out, said Stephen. But there was no point. Then there was trouble. Look, you two. I told you I found a fit. Look out, cried Stephen. Stephen shot over the line and crashed straight into Diesel. The narrow gauge track got covered by the mail trucks as every truck plummeted off the edge. Diesel landed with Stephen. Oh, what was that for? What are you doing in the castle? Harry and Bert jumped. Oh no, we've been rumbled. Quick, Bert, go, said Harry, as the 2 of them darted out there and raced away. Harry, Bert, get back here now. You're on your own, boss. We didn't even want to join in on this, said Harry and Bert as they shot away back to the Diesel works. Diesel and Stephen groaned. Just then, Miss Jenny ran out of the castle. She'd been staying there for a few days while the construction was underway. What's going on here? Said Miss Jenny. You could have hurt some of my machines. Jack, who had been jolted awake, jumped up. I'm fine, said Jack, just a bit shocked. The Duke and Duchess, who had also been staying there, walked out and stepped onto the turntable. They looked over at the mess. What's happened? Said the Duke. Oh dear, is everyone all right? Said the Duchess. Quickly, one of you go and call for help. We need the breakdown crane and we need the top of my hat. This is serious." The Duke walked away. The Duchess tried to see what had happened. Before long, everyone was arrived at the accident, and the Topham Hatt stepped out of Winston and walked over. "Stephen and Diesel, what on earth is going on?" My brakes failed, sir," said Stephen. "The trucks pushed me forwards and I couldn't stop." "I understand, Stephen, but Diesel, why on earth were you outside of the castle?" I was just looking for something, sir." "Looking for what? And what's that carousel car?" "Wait till the Earl hears about this." "Hears about what, sir?" said the Earl as he jumped off Connor. He'd heard from the station and ran over. "My castle wall. It was almost fixed. And Diesel, why do you have the carousel car?" "Carousel car? Carousel car? I did all of this for a stupid carousel car." "All of what, Diesel?" "Oh, fine, I was looking for treasure. Don't you blame me, it's exciting. These castle walls haven't been explored for years." "They have, Diesel. Where you were going was down to the storeroom. I store some supplies there for parties or celebrations. That's why you didn't say anything. This is ridiculous. Now get me out of this mess. Now." "Will do, Diesel." "Looks like they're both going to have to go to work, sir," said Rocky. "I can see that, Rocky. So unfortunate. And now I'm down another 2 engines. I'll have to find someone else to take over the diesel oil rig." "Oh, the indignity," grumbled Diesel. Just then, the engines heard a loud puff. Why can't I get out? I want to go back to the shed. I'm tired," snapped Sir Handel. "Oh, about that," said Rocky. Sir Handel looked at the mess and huffed as he rolled back away. "At least that was sorted easy," chuckled Miss Jenny. Belle reversed into the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre. "How did the rescue go, Belle? Did you and Rocky manage to save Stephen?" "Yes, we did," said Belle, although she didn't seem quite with it. "Are you all right, Belle? You don't seem right," said Flynn. "Oh, it's just, well, it wasn't just Stephen in the accident." "What do you mean?" said Captain. "Well, Diesel was there as well, and I swear I saw Harry and Bert run away as well. They were in the mines, but I don't know why." "Maybe they were looking for something," said Rocky. "You're probably just overreacting," said Flynn. Maybe they were sent there." "There's no actual response for that, though. Why would they be sent down to the mines?" "You could always go and investigate," said Captain. "That's it. I'm going to go and ask Daisy. It is weak. Belle, what about you? Can manage the rescues while I'm gone," said Belle as she rolled to Knapford Station. Flynn sighed as he rolled to the back of his shed, staying alert. Belle arrived at Knapford Station. A few engines were talking. "Diesel roll out of the caves," said Daisy. "Do you know if anything's in Ulstead mine, Caitlin?" I'm sorry, but I don't go in there much because I'm on the passenger service." "Ulstead mine," said Rosie. "I forgot they had a mine shaft." "Yes," said Edward. "It used to be used back in the day to transport coal until we got our handy little coal yard. But I remember someone saying something was back there. I don't know what it was. Why don't we go and investigate?" said Oliver, rolling in. "There's no point just talking about it. If we want to find out what it is, we may as well go and ask." "Oh, but we don't know the caves," said Edward. "And it could be dangerous," said Daisy. "What? Oh, hi. What could be dangerous?" said a voice, as in to the Knapford Station rolled Emily. "Oh, Emily, you're back after your overhaul. Oh, you look amazing, darling," said Daisy. "Oh, who are you? And you?" "Oh, I'm Caitlin, and I'm Oliver, and this is my brake van Toad." "Hello, Mrs. Emily. Wow, a lot's changed while I've been gone. Now, what's going on at the moment?" So Daisy explained to Emily, and Emily sighed. "Well, that's it. We've got to go and investigate. We'd be silly not to. Right, who's in?"
Emily, you've just got out of the work, said Edward. Do you not want to? Oh, I'll be fine. Come on. I've been cooped up in the steamworks for weeks. I need a bit of an adventure. So Emily uncoupled her coaches and called the engines down to Ulstead Castle. Well, let's go, said Edward. Come on. So everyone rolled away. The team of engines had been created. Go, Sodor! Cried Rosie as she raced away.
Harry and Bert had just arrived at Ulstead Castle. All right, Bert, said Harry. We've been told to figure out what Diesel was looking for. Now come on, we can't delay, said Bert as he turned around on the turntable. Where do we look, though? Said Harry. Do we look in the caves? I don't know. But we need to find somewhere quick, because we don't know who could come to the castle. Just then, Harry and Bert heard the whistles. Harry and Bert panicked. Quick, Bert, we've got to get out of here, said Harry, and the two of them darted down into the caves, which were already dangerous. Wait for me, Harry, said Bert, as the two of them shot into the caves, hiding beneath the castle ruins, as Oliver rolled in. All right, we're at the castle, said Oliver. All right, said Edward, we need to explore this castle properly to not miss out on anything. So where are we looking first? Said Emily. Maybe on top of the mines. There could be something up there. No, they came from inside. They came from inside the mine, said Daisy. So if anything, we should start looking in there. We need to split up, said Edward. We'll cover more ground. I'll go into the cave, said Edward. I'll come too, said Emily. Are you sure you want to go in there, Emily? It could be dangerous. Rosie, said Edward, you and Oliver are going to explore the top of the mines. Make sure to be careful if the line is very wobbly. Okay, said Rosie. She backed up. Belle, you can come into the caves as well and use your headlight. Daisy and Caitlin, you two are on lookout, just in case anyone comes. Guard the exits in case there's any diesels, said Edward. So everyone quickly set up into position. All right, said Edward, let's go, as Edward pushed through the old gates of the castle and rolled down the line, followed by Emily and Belle. Caitlin rolled over the point, making sure no one would get in, as Rosie climbed up the top of the hill and pushed through a danger sign. Look out below, cried Rosie, as the danger sign smashed down. Oliver followed down. Be careful, Rosie. We don't know how sturdy this line actually is. In the caves, Harry and Bert could hear Edward's whistle and panicked, so the two of them darted forward. Just as Oliver was going to leave. There's nothing up here, Rosie. Let's get out of here before we get into an accident. But as Oliver went to reverse, Harry and Bert crashed through the gates. The gate flung up and pushed Oliver forward. Hey, watch it, said Oliver. Harry and Bert shot out of the caves and straight down the crossing. Caitlin heard them and darted backward. Hey, get back here, said Caitlin, as Harry and Bert shot out of the Ulstead Castle and raced down the main line. Caitlin reversed after them. I'll stop them, she cried as she raced away. Oliver and Rosie were now really panicked. We've got to get down, said Oliver, quickly. So Oliver quickly backed down, trying to help. His wheels wobbled as he quickly got through. I'll help stop Harry and Bert. Rosie, you get down and go and help Daisy guard the entrances. All right, said Rosie, as Rosie quickly raced down to go and help guard the entrances. Meanwhile, Edward was getting deeper into the caves. As Edward pushed through, he felt the caves getting smaller. You all right, Edward? Said Emily, puffing through after him. I'm fine. The caves are just feeling like they're getting a bit tighter. Careful, you two, said Belle. Edward puffed forwards, but then there was trouble. He bumped into something. What was that? Ow! You hit me! Ah! Shouted Edward as he darted backwards. He bumped straight into Emily, who bumped into Belle. The three engines wobbled down as Emily knocked into a few statues. There's a monster in the cave, said Emily. It's not a monster. I think it was an engine, said Edward. Harry and Bert shot through Brandon Docks as Caitlin chased after them. For Lord's sake, watch the eggs, sighed Donald, as Caitlin and Oliver set chase after Harry and Bert. I'll stop you, panted Caitlin. Mr. Oliver, we're going a bit fast, cried Toad. It's fine, Toad, keep up, chanted Oliver. Stafford, can't you hurry up? I'm sick of waiting. I'm sorry, Gordon, but does it look like I can do jobs at a time? Rosie's gone off somewhere and I don't know where she is, and just then, Harry and Bert shot through the station. They switched to the points and raced down the line. Stafford got shot into the sidings. One of the diesels raced through. Quick, Bert, go! Cried Harry as the two of them shot through the station. Just then, Connor saw Caitlin. Caitlin reversed down and switched line. Get back here, said Caitlin. Connor, try and cut him off. But it was too late. Harry had already escaped. Oliver set chase after Toad. Mr. Oliver, said Toad. We're right there. We've got it, Toad, we've got it. Gordon looked so confused. Gordon, stop them, said Oliver. Gordon rolled forward as Caitlin tried to catch up to Harry. Meanwhile, at Ulstead Castle, the engines had all stopped. What do you mean there's an engine back there? Said Daisy. There's an engine back there, said Edward. I heard them speak. All right, said Emily. I'll go and get help. You lot stay there. And Emily reversed, going to find help. Rosie, go get the Tom hat. And the Earl, said Edward. On it, said Rosie, as she quickly raced away. Emily had left to go and get the breakdown crane, and Rosie had left as well. So, what do we do, said Daisy. I think if I couple up, I can pull her out. Or him. We don't know them yet. So, Edward turned on the turntable to go and see. Be careful, Edward, said Belle. You don't know who's back there. It's fine, said Edward. I've got this. Right. Ready, said Edward. Belle decided to help, as Edward said that the engine's wheels were stuck. I'm here, Edward, I'm here. Here to help, said Belle. With all the engine's might, Belle and Edward pulled out of the cave, and as they pulled out, a small purple engine was shown, with a truck. Edward and Belle pulled with all their might, and Edward rolled into the siding next to Belle. Belle stopped as Edward pulled in, and pushed the engine quickly into the yard. The engines quickly put the engine in the siding. As the engine was placed into the siding, Rosie arrived and screeched to a stop on the turntable. Out stepped the Topham Hat and the Earl. What's going... Oh my word, said the Fat Controller. Now who do we have here? Just then, Emily rolled in. She had arrived with the breakdown crane. I've got the... Oh, you didn't need it. Well, I say... Now, what's your name? Asked the Earl. Just then, the engines heard a frantic beeping. Miss Jenny rolled in and jumped out. Oh, them silly diesels almost hit us, said Madge. Miss Jenny walked up and stopped. She dropped her handbag. Well, I never. Is that who I think it is? The little engine looked over and smiled. But nothing came out. Your lady, smiled Miss Jenny. Lily, smiled Lady. Lily, said Edward. Your Burnett. He was my grandfather, said Miss Jenny. How's he doing? Oh, he's passed now, said Miss Jenny. Lady looked down at her bosses. What were you doing in the cave? Asked the Fat Controller. I was put there, in the wall. I was placed there for safekeeping. I guess he forgot about me. Along with this truck of coal, said the Earl. As he picked up one of the coal pieces, he gasped as it clattered to the floor. I don't think that's coal, said Edward. Belle, said the Fat Controller. Spray that truck of coal with some water. Let's see if it washes off. So Belle pointed her water cannons, and lo and behold, the coal turned into gold. He painted it. He covered it in a layer of dust, said Lady, to hopefully get it to stay. That's insane, said Edward. You've been in them caves all these years. But how were you never found? He put me at the very back of the caves. They were cut off to the public. I didn't want to open the caves as well, said the Earl. I knew it was too dangerous to just open them, so you decided to keep it closed, said Miss Jenny. Exactly. I hope you all understand. But why would she be in the caves of a castle? Said the Fat Controller. Just then, he heard a word. In rolled Spencer as he pulled to a stop. Spencer, what a... Just then, the Duke and Duchess stepped out and walked over to go and see what was happening. Spencer smirked. I knew why the caves haven't been explored, and I knew why Diesel knew it as well. I'd mentioned something about there being treasure in the caves. I remember being told an old story by the Duke. Oh, I remember that. But I didn't think it was real, said Spencer. So I joked to Diesel. I didn't think he'd take it so seriously and explore it. I knew I had to stop him, so I got in cahoots with Stephen and knocked him off, told him to crash into Diesel. But what about Harry and Bert? Said Edward. Diesel must have employed them to do it, but I've just drove past them and they've both been caught by Caitlin and Oliver. They did a good job, them two. Although, I didn't know there was an engine down there, or a truck of gold. Well, this is wonderful, said the Fat Controller. Another engine on our railway. Right, Madge, I don't want this engine to be spotted by any engines on the rails, said the Fat Controller. So, I'm going to have Lady be transported to the steamworks by you. But, sir, said Edward, everyone will see her at the steamworks. No, not our steamworks. I'm going to have her transported to the mainland. But, sir, that's miles away. It's only a few hours' drive, said the Fat Controller. And then I will have her fit as a fiddle, said the Fat Controller. Lady sighed. I don't want to go to the mainland, sir. Please let me stay here. The Fat Controller looked down at his hands. I suppose it wouldn't be too bad if you were spotted by a few engines, although we need to get Diesel out of the steamworks first, as he will be jealous. You can't do that, though, sir. He's still not fixed. I know, said the Fat Controller. Unless, said Edward, what if she's repaired at the narrow gauge works? Marge can take her down there and she can be fixed on Marge's flatbed. I know Victor fixes the narrow gauge engines, but they're bound to have a little workshop on their railway, said Edward. They do, said Miss Jenny. I was the one who helped build it. Right, Madge, get Lady loaded up onto your flatbed and let's take her to the little narrow gauge workshop. What about Harry and Bert? Oh, they were just listening to Diesel, so they won't be in any trouble, said the Fat Controller. It's an impulse, he chuckled. Right, let's get to work, said the Fat Controller, as Lady was lifted onto Marge's flatbed, and Marge and Miss Jenny drove away. Now, said the Fat Controller, what to do with this truck of gold?